Grand Prince Aleksandr or Aleksandr Mikhailovich was a prince of Tver as Alexander I and Grand Prince of Vladimir-Suzdal as Alexander II. Life. Alexander was a second son of Prince Mikhail of Tver by his wife Anna of Kashan. As a young man, his appanages included Oman Mikulin. In 1322, he continued the Tver prince's opposition to the rise of Moscow when he rather spectacularly waylaid Grand Prince Yuri of Moscow as Yuri journeyed with the tribute from Novgorod to Moscow. 4 years later, Alexander succeeded his childless brother Dmitry the Terrible Eyes, who had been executed on behest of Uzbek Khan in the horde after Dmitry avenged his father's death by murdering Yuri. In 1327, a Tatar official, the Baskaki Shevkul, arrived in Tver from the horde with a large retinue. They took up residence at Alexander's palace and, according to chronicle reports, started terrorizing the city, randomly robbing and killing. Rumors spread the Shevkul wanted to kill the prince, occupy the throne for himself and introduce Islam to the city. When, on the 15th of August 1327, the Tatars tried to take a horse from a deacon named Dyadko, he cried for help and a mob of furious people rushed on the Tatars and killed them all. Shevkul and his remaining guards were burnt alive in one of the houses where they had attempted to hide. The massacre led inevitably to Tatar reprisals. Indeed, the whole incident may have been a provocation by the Tatars to destroy Alexander and the Tver princes. Ivan Kalita of Moscow, brother of Yuri of Moscow, who had been murdered by Dmitry the Terrible Eyes in 1322, immediately went to the horde and, before Alexander had time to justify himself to Uzbek Khan, persuaded the Khan to grant Moscow the Yarlik patent of office for the throne of Vladimir. The Khan also sent Ivan at the head of an army of 50,000 soldiers to punish Tver. Alexander fled with his family to Novgorod, but he was not accepted there for fear of the Tatars, so he went on to Pskov. Pskov not only allowed Alexander to enter the city, but made him the prince. Desiring to save the Russian land from further devastation, had Ivan Kalita left Alexander in Pskov, the Tatars would have certainly sent another punitive expedition which would have destroyed that city. Alexander agreed to abandon the city, but the residents of Pskov would not let him go. Metropolitan Feognost arrived in Novgorod and he and Archbishop Moisei of Novgorod excommunicated the city at the behest of Ivan Kalita. In 1329, fulfilling the order of the Khan, Ivan Kalita and many other princes declared war to Pskov. Alexander fled into Lithuania and then to Sweden, after which the Metropolitan lifted the ban of excommunication against Pskov. Alexander returned to Pskov a year and a half later under the patronage of Gediminas, Grand Duke of Lithuania. In 1335, Alexander sent his son, Fyodor, to the horde in order to gain forgiveness. 2 years later, in 1337, he went there himself. Uzbek Khan, at least for a time, forgave his old enemy and sent him back to Tver. This led to renewed hostilities with Moscow, which Tver could not sustain. On October 29, 1339, Alexander and Fyodor were quartered in Surrey, the capital city of the horde, by the orders of Uzbek Khan family. Alexander was married California, 1320 to Anastasia of Halych and had 8 children: Fyodor of Tver, Lev, Mikhail II of Tver, Vsevolod of Kholm, Andrei, Vladimir, Maria, married to Simeon of Russia, Uliana, married to Algirdas,